Hi everyone, it's Sam Mackay here from Enterprise DNA. Just want to do a really good review here of iterating functions inside of Power BI. I obviously work a lot in the with Enterprise DNA members in the support forum, and I do see a bit of confusion with these iterating functions. So I just thought it would be a good idea just to do a quick review in terms of what can be achieved and what you can do with these particular functions and why you should use them in certain scenarios. And trust me, as you get more and more into DAX formulas, you will use these functions a lot more than you think. They're much more versatile than simple aggregation functions like, say, sum or average, etc. Okay, so let's just do a quick review here. Okay, so I've got a number of examples. I just want to work through the logic in each of these examples so that you can get a very good understanding of what actually happens when logic is run via these formulas. Okay, now the first one I want to show you is we're going to jump to this one here. Okay, so the key thing about iterating functions is they do as the name suggests, they iterate through something. Okay, in this case they iterate through a table that we place as the first parameter. Okay, and so in this particular case I've said, okay, I want to sum up something, but I want to iterate through every single row in this particular sales table. Okay, and then at every single row, I want to run some specific logic at that particular row, okay? And that's what this logic is here. Okay, so let's just quickly jump to the sales table and we'll come back here in a second. So I'm going to jump to sales. And you'll see here there's a very, very simple sales table. I want to run some logic at every single row here, and I want to go quantity times price. Now price doesn't actually exist in this table. Sometimes it will, so you can just write price, but in this particular model, my price is actually in the product table, and so you'll see here that the current price is located in the products table, just selected on it. And so what I need to do is I need to reach back up to my product table. Oh, let me just zoom out here for a second. I need to reach back up to my product table, and I can do that with related. Okay, I don't want to do a tutorial on related here, but I just want to show you this is what is happening at every single row in the sales table. When we are going calculating up quantity times the relevant price, quantity times the relevant price for every single row, and that is exactly what is happening inside of here. Okay, now these are the key concepts to remember when we start doing some slightly more advanced things, which I'll show you in a second. Okay, now the other thing I wanted to show you is that this particular formula I've used exactly the same formula for this total sales here, right? And so obviously they're getting the same results as they should, but I want to show you something else here. Now if I go to this tutorial one that I've got, check out what I've written here. I've gone SUMX, iterate through the sales table again, but go and do the work that or the logic that I placed inside of my other measure. Okay, so go and run that logic at every single row and calculate up the quantity times price at every single row, and then aggregate it up once all of that iterating is done. And you'll see here that this result is exactly the same as SUMX tutorial 2 or total sales, because they're the same thing. And so I guess all I'm trying to show you here is that you can place a whole variety of different things in here. It doesn't have to be, it can be a measure. You can branch out with iterating functions. You don't have to just reference specific columns to actually get the calculations correct. And I'm just showing you here that all I've done is I've placed a measure inside of here and I'm getting exactly the same result. Now, in reality, this isn't this isn't best practice here, because you've already got the calculation here, so you don't need to go to this length. But I wanted to show you this because we're going to write some slightly more advanced logic here to calculate some of our other calcs. Okay, and we're going to reference this measure inside of those calculations. Okay, so I'm going to jump to this SUMX tutorial 3 now. Now I'm just using SUMX here, but all of this stuff is relevant for AVERAGEX, MINX, MAXX, etc. It's all very similar things. Now, the other key thing to remember, I guess, with these iterating functions is they run logic at every single row, right? But when that logic is run at every single row, it basically saves into memory that result. And then once all of those values are saved into memory, then this overarching calculation is done, like a sum or like an average, for example. Okay, so that's the way to think about it. It iterates at every single row, saves that result into memory, waits until it's done all of the iterating it needs to do, and then goes and runs the aggregation it needs to over all of that stuff saved into memory, all of those calculations. Okay, so let's check out this particular calculation here. So I can just also bring it into this visual so we can have a look at it. Versus 1. Okay, so you see here that this amount is slightly less, right? So I wanted to show you what you could do inside of SUMX. So again, with this iterating function, I've said I want to iterate through every single sale. I want to iterate through every single row in the sales table. And in every single row, I want to calculate, is that particular sale greater than $2,000? Okay. If it is, I want to calculate total sales for that row. If it is not, so if the total of the sale was less than 2,000, then I want to return a 0. So I only basically want to calculate up my higher value sales. Okay, now you could not do this logic inside, say, a sum or anything like that. And this is where you have to start using iterating functions, right? If you want to write this some sort of logic, some simple logic like this, then you want to use iterating functions. Some of you might be thinking, well, I could have just put this inside a calculated column. Well, no, you don't want to do that because this is just a much better way. It's much better to run this logic inside of DAX rather than putting it physically inside of a column. Okay, so let's just jump on to the next tutorial. So hopefully you're getting the idea now of what we're trying to do, or what the iterating functions do. Now let's change things up a little bit here, okay? And this is again where iterating functions are seriously amazing, because what you can do inside of them is you can not only iterate through a physical table like we did before, but you can iterate through some other table or some virtual table that you input as this parameter. Okay, and so what I've done, and you've got to think at every single context here, right? So we've got to think at every single result here has a specific context. In this particular case, we have it as the customer context. So what I want to do in the customer context is I want to iterate through every single location, okay? Every single location. And I want to see if that particular customer has sales above $5,000 in any one of those locations. If it does, I want to calculate up the total sales. If it does not, I want it to return 0. So in this particular case, I am calculating up the high value locations that this customer is buying in, okay, and the sales that they are making in those locations, the total sales that they are making. So what this values is doing is it's basically creating a virtual table in behind this particular result of every single location. We're iterating through every single location, looking at the sales for each of those locations for this customer, working out, are they greater than 5,000? If they are, we're going to count up those sales. If not, we're going to return 0. So it's not even working over anything physical here. It's actually working over something totally virtual, which I'm hoping you can start to see is immensely powerful. Okay, so a couple more that I wanted to run over. So let's go this MINX, okay? So similar sort of thing here, okay? So instead of SUMX, we're going to run some other type of end aggregation once we iterate through every single row. So in this particular case, what we're doing is we're iterating through every single location for each different customer, and we're working out the total sales for each of those locations. Then we want to return the very min amount. So the min amount of a location that they purchased, okay? And that's why we have 95, 504, 127, 136, etc. This is the location that the lowest amount we have spent at any one location, okay? Then we'll come to MAXX, so we see here another one. And so hopefully just this repetition is showing you the versatility of these iterating functions. And so you see here I'm doing a similar sort of thing. I'm iterating through every single location, looking at their sales, but then returning the max of those location sales, and that's why I've got this higher number here. Okay, so a few examples there. Now, the key thing I wanted to touch upon in this tutorial is just the range of options that you have inside an iterating function versus, say, a simple sum or an average. And once you start digging into more complex calculations, you'll see how essential these particular functions are, like things like SUMX, AVERAGEX, MINX MAXX, to return values at a row level, or a row context level is another way to think of it, versus a filter context level, which is what, say, simple aggregations do. Okay, and the versatility, there's so much versatility in ways that you can run these calculations with quite simple formula if you just know how to manipulate the parameters that we need to insert into them. Okay, so I'm going to round things off there. Hopefully you like this one. If you did, throw the video a like, really appreciate it. And also don't forget to subscribe to Enterprise DNA TV as well. Lots of great content coming out to you all the time. So look forward to getting that out to you. Okay, thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.